Hey guys, do you like X-Men minifigures? Well, we got them, so let's take a gander. I got some shoutouts to do. Diego Luna, Cartex Customs, and Harleen Quinzel. You guys were the winners of the last contest, so thumbs up to you. And I also have a special shoutout to Noah Dude 102. It's your 10th birthday, and happy birthday from Toy Gander. So now on to the figures. As last video I did, I asked you guys for feedback on who you wanted me to unbag and review next, and overwhelmingly the response came back X-Men, so that's why I'm doing this. So let's go ahead and open up Cyclops. Okay, so here's the character right here, and I will tell you, he has really nice printing. The symmetry of his lines across his body look very nicely done. They're very detailed. Even his legs, if you look at the legs, I was kind of surprised on this. It wraps around, the lines wrap all the way around his legs, so you don't actually see that too often. I'm surprised they got the lines to match up pretty closely. It's a little bit off there, but for a knockoff figure, honestly, it's done very well. If it's not already done, someone needs to make this guy in chrome. Lego, hear me out. Make this guy a chrome figure. I want it. I will buy it right away. Just make them all chrome. You could put the exact same printing on them. Just make them chrome. Very cool character. Other than that, he's got the flat top do on the top here. Only one face printing, which is not a big deal, but overall character looks great. Next up, this character is Rogue. So upon closer inspection, this is probably Jean Grey and not Rogue. Now, this came in one of the packs that I got, so there was like a 6-pack, and she came in it. I saw it in the actual picture of the figure. I knew that the yellows were not going to be vibrant, and one thing, if you guys don't know, yellows are actually more expensive to produce vibrantly, and even Lego, true official Lego figures, sometimes the yellows don't really pop. It's because it's a very light color, and they have to go over it multiple times to create a very vivid looking image. And you can see that right here. It's just kind of sloppily done there. There's no side printing here. There is some back printing, but the same thing. I can kind of see the paint lines on there. So that's disappointing to see. And on the torso's not too bad. However, it's not nearly as vibrant as what I would like. Nonetheless, let's move on to the next character. Alright, next up we have Gambit. So growing up, Gambit was probably one of my favorite characters in the X-Men. He's honestly not all that strong. Like, he has powers of like charisma and charm, and he can kinetically charge random objects to deliver some type of blast. So he doesn't have the coolest of powers, but I just like the overall look and his energy and the way he comes off as a character within the X-Men. Now, looking into the actual figure itself, some great detailed printing on the torso, great detailed printing on the legs. You do not get any printing, unfortunately, on the back or on the legs or on the back torso, but it doesn't really matter because it's being covered by this jacket. Now, one thing with the jacket here is it's kind of one of those paper materials, so you can bend the collar to either conform down or you can leave it up. Now, I think it actually looks better this way. It just looks a little bit more intricate this way, so I'm going to leave it like that, and I might fiddle around with it later to see if I can get it to look a little bit better. But I do like the cape. I like how it drapes over him. I like how it fits. His arms are tough to move up and down, though, when I put this jacket on. So that's the only downside to that. His face printing looks great. He's got those red eyes, nice vibrant printing on the face, and I was surprised because sometimes when you put, this is a black head, and what they did is they put beige over it, and sometimes when you do that, you actually lose some of that vibrant image on there, and you can kind of see some of the paint marks like we saw within Jean, because the beige just shows up not nearly as vibrant. But great overall printing. He's got the cool looking hairpiece. Very awesome looking character. I definitely would recommend getting one of these. Now, this next character is probably a lesser known character. He's the SubMariner, or Namor. He's got a couple other names too, so let's open him up. Fun fact, Namor came before Aquaman did. And DC came along and then just completely ripped off the character and called him Aquaman. And the reason why we probably know, most people know Aquaman over Namor is because it's easier to say Aquaman. They, for the most part, have the exact same powers. There's a couple of differences here and there. One of the main differences is he actually has the ability to fly, and that is through his like ankle wings. He has tiny wings on his ankles, and I was a little bit disappointed to see that they did not include that in here, because that's one of the things that makes him a unique character. It wouldn't have taken much to actually just put a little printing right here and here. Overall printing on the overall character, though, is really nice. It's very finely detailed. You can see on his underpants here, they got some nice cross hatching, and then he has a shell on his belt. I don't know if you can notice that or not, but it's very, very small. Some back printing, a little bit thicker lines than I would probably care for, and I do wish they maybe put some detailed lines on his arms just to make the whole character complete. Very, very nicely done, though. He doesn't have a back printing head, but I really do like the front printing. It looks very bright, very vibrant, and very angry. He's one of like the short-tempered characters that's in the Marvel universe. Alright guys, we have Professor X. He is the leader of the X-Men. Now it doesn't come with instructions for his wheelchair, so I'm going to totally wing it. So he comes in several different pieces here. First thing, looking at the torso, torso actually looks pretty decent. It's nicely printed on the front. He doesn't have any, oh, he does have some back printing right there. A couple definition lines right there. Now he comes with two heads, which I thought was weird. Like, this is I'm a happy pose, and then this one is I'm concentrating or I'm going to the bathroom pose. This is the wheelchair. Not much to it, and I might have done this incorrectly. I might have put a couple pieces in there wrong. Let me know in the comments if I did. It is not much to it, but it looks very much like what the movie represents and the comics. He doesn't come with four wheels, he only comes with two, so it does create a little bit of an off-balance issue. However, that's how he was in the comics. So it is accurate to represent it that way. And it does hold up when you push him all the way forward. So it looks great. Okay, here we got Sabretooth. Here he is put together, and I will say the detail on this character is fantastic. The outlining is fantastic. The darks, and where it needs to be bold, it's bold, and where it needs to be very thin and very finely detailed, it's done right. The only couple issues that I might have with this, I think there's a little bit of opportunity with the color palette choices. If you look at his face, and I don't know if you could tell this on camera, but his face is actually kind of pink, and if you look at it compared to Professor X, I don't know exactly why they chose a pink color for his face. I think that it might have looked a little bit better if it was beige. And same thing goes for his claws. I know his claws aren't black in the comics, and they could have even done the same color that they did on the head. If they used that and just put it in with that, it would match very nicely and it would look great. Last character we have is Bishop. So Bishop's overall appearance is done very well. He looks very much like the comic book character. With that being said, he suffers from the same thing that Jean Grey suffers from, and that's that pesky yellow. It's done a little bit more sparingly because he doesn't have quite as much yellow on him, so it doesn't look nearly as bad, but you can see it on the front that it's faded a little bit in the front. It should have been gone over maybe one or two more times. Looking at the back though, the back looks very vibrant, and I don't know specifically why that is. Not only the yellows on the top here, but also the red bandana. So whatever they did on this, I wish they did the exact same thing on the front here because it would have looked a lot better. Looking at his headpiece here, he has a nice vibrant printing, that M printing above his eye. Also his guns here. These weapons, I haven't seen these weapons on any other characters, so that's something that's a bit unique to him. I don't think any other character has these exact guns. Just as always, there is one character somewhere on the screen that's just not quite right. So the first person to find out who that character is and puts it in the comments below, I will give you a special shout out in the next video I do. Well guys, that's what we have for today. I want to thank you so much for liking, clicking that thumbs up button, and subscribing. And until next time, you can help us take a gander.